AFTV DT, it's another one. As another one.
Oh, God.
DJ Khaled, another win.
Mate, it's a nice way to end 2020.
It is a nice way to end.
It's very nice.
Both of us suffering from COVID, but getting better, and the team seemingly getting better with results anyway. It was a bit dodgy today in the first half. It wasn't a great performance. But you got to say, for people who say that Mikel Arteta is not getting through to the players, he must be, because at halftime he's obviously gone in there and said, hey, and they were a different team in the second half. There was a much better performance.
Oh, much better performance. I don't think Brighton even managed a shot on goal in the second half, did they?
I don't really remember. It was a much better performance in the second half. So let's get straight into it. We're going to start off with Leno, who he did a bit of sublime skill when the ball was played back to him in the first half that I'm sure will be featuring in loads of clips and things like that. It got me nervous. Another clean sheet.
Another clean sheet. That's 4 on the road this season now, I believe it is. I don't think he had a lot to do.
No. He looked very confident today in everything he did, to be fair.
I think his distribution was decent. I think that his handling was fine.
He's back to his best, isn't he?
Yeah, he's over the injury now. And it was nice for him to go back to Brighton and right the wrongs of last year.
Of course, because that was where he got that injury last season that ruled him out of the FA Cup and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, that's put that one to bed in that respect. Do you know what? I can't really give him much more than a 7 because I don't think he had a lot to do.
No, he didn't. And whatever he did it well. Kieran Tierney, a lot more of a quieter game than what he had against Chelsea, but still solid.
Yeah, defensively solid, but it was a different type of game for him today. I think as a whole unit, the team had to defend, resolutely without letting them have any real cutting edge, is the best way of describing it. So I'd probably be the same, around about a 7, to be honest with you. It was a good performance, but more of a different type than the other night against Chelsea.
Rob Holding.
Solid at the back. I thought commanding, won everything that he needed to win. Done exactly what was needed today. So again, 7. I thought it was a solid display all round.
Okay. Pablo Mari.
Same again. He looks slow, but his reading of the game is so good. It reminds me very much like a Per Mertesacker, where
he's quicker than Mertesacker. Bloody hell.
I know that, but you know what I mean. He's not the quickest of centre backs, but his reading of the game is so good that it gets him into a great position that he doesn't need his pace. But again, second game, another decent performance, and he's looking like a decent bit of business. Somebody that, can be more reliable than a Mustafi, for example, and players like that. You need players that are able to come into the squad at a given moment and perform. And he's come along in 2 games where, let's be honest, if it wasn't for COVID, Gabriel would have been starting. So solid performance all round. I'll give him a 7 as well.
Okay, Hector Bellerin.
Bit like Kieran Tierney, to be honest with you. Don't think he was able to get forward as much. I thought he was okay defensively. There's a couple of moments in there. No foul throws, which is always a bonus. But again, I think the whole back 4 as a unit, along with Leno, were pretty solid today. And the fact that they kept Brighton into not really having any clear-cut chances, apart from 1 or so maybe in the first half, then, 7 as well. I think that was a decent enough play.
You really are becoming the white version of Ty. You know what I mean? Right. Mohamed El Neni.
I thought it was a poor afternoon for him. I thought he was better in the second half, but the first half he was wayward, man. There was one pass he made which was really poor, and it put us under a lot of pressure. I think you'll see the effectiveness of a El Neni when Thomas Partey's in the side. But when he's not, I just think that he slows our game down a bit, to be honest with you.
He slowed it down a lot in the first half.
Yeah, massively. So I'll give him a 6 for his performance today.
All right, Granit Xhaka.
I thought he had a good performance, to be fair. I thought he was the best out of the two. I thought he was disciplined. I thought that he never hung onto the ball as much in the sense of what we were just saying with El Neni. And yeah, that was a decent enough performance for me. 7. I thought it was decent.
Okay, 7. Saka.
I thought he had a very quiet first half, poor first half, but then came to life in the second. And I think that, again, another assist on the board.
Another assist, man. This guy.
Driving run and energy and enthusiasm. And what can you say, man? Another man of the match performance. He gets an 8.
It's a bit like what you were saying in your interview, man. Like how some of these boys are just,
they become men.
Yeah. And he is the leading example of that. Smith Rowe.
I thought he had a really good game. Really good game.
He had that one sloppy moment, if I'm going to be picky.
Yeah, in the second half.
I'm like, what are you doing, bro? You're trying to ruin the decent performance you had. But it wasn't like his performance the other day. It was more like a hard-working performance today. It was a different type of game, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had to dig in. He really had to dig in. And that's what Mikel wants. Somebody that can put the work rate in as well. Something that the likes of Willian's not been doing. And Smith Rowe, for me, was right up there with Saka. Very close. I'm going to give him an 8 as well, but not man of the match. I thought Smith Rowe, I thought his work off the ball cannot go unnoticed today. It really can't. And I know when you play in those positions, it's very easy to, get sidetracked by the whole, you didn't create anything or you didn't do something on this, that kind of thing. But I feel that today was a different type of game and he really had to dig in. And the fact that when he went off, he looked like he could barely walk says it all, because he put every ounce of his body on the line today. So, yeah. Okay.
Martinelli.
I thought it was a quiet game for him by his standards. Maybe the fact that he's, just come back from injury and maybe the minutes got into his legs a little bit because he didn't look his energetic self as, he was the other night. But it's understandable. It's part of it. Had a good chance at the start of the second half when he had the shot that just went over. Can't fault his work rate. And I'll give him a 6 because he did come off quite early. And also I think that it wasn't his best of afternoon, should we say.
Okay, Aubameyang.
See, this is where people will debate. I thought his work rate was decent because the fact that we got into the last 5 minutes of the game and he didn't look like he could run says how much work he did put in. But when you play in that position, if you don't score, everyone thinks you're poor.
Yeah, he had that one chance, which was, he did everything right. It was just the goalkeeper was just made a good save.
Yeah. Look, you know what, Robbie, on another day, those are the type of games where if you score that, you can be quiet for 89 minutes of a game and nobody even remembers those 89 minutes. But the 1 minute they will remember is the one where you pull it in the back of the net. And nobody will talk about those 89 minutes. Everyone will go, oh, he overscored. He was sick today. You know what I mean? So Mikel's going to have a few little selection headaches now moving forward. What does he do with the likes of Martinelli coming back into the side and everything else? But I'll give him a 6. I think his work rate was good. Can't fault that. Just I'd be a bit harsh saying that he missed that chance. I think it was a good positioning and saved by the goalkeeper more than anything.
Lacazette. 21 seconds. 21 seconds. As Ty would say right now.
21 seconds.
21 seconds on the pitch.
Mate, yeah, you're gonna have to give him an 8 because he got the winning goal.
Yeah, and he made a difference. And when you come off the bench as a substitute, your manager's saying, yo, go on and do something for me. And he did it.
Yeah.
And,
and the other thing is as well, he would have come on and thought, yeah, drop me today, yeah? All right, cool. All right, now drop me again.
Yeah.
And that's what you want as a manager. At the end of the day, Mikel won't hold any grudges about that. Mikel will be like, go and prove me wrong. I took you out the side today, so go and prove me wrong. Within 21 seconds, he proved him wrong and said, yeah, don't take me out again. And that's what you want as a manager. You don't want your decisions like that justified. So, yeah, 8 for me because he come on and scored the winning goal.
Okay, so Bias wasn't on very long.
No.
Maitland Niles not on very long. 5s for those are standard 5s. The manager.
I think he went with the strongest lineup that was available. It's nice that we had, 10 of the players were given their opportunity after performing so well against Chelsea.
Yeah, I like that.
It's not easy either, putting a performance in 48 hours after such a tough game against Chelsea. And it was a tough game. Let's remember that. It was a tough game, which would have took a lot out on the players emotionally as well as physically. So gonna have to give him credit for the substitution because he made it, obviously. And
it's 3 points. That's the most important thing. And a manager who's still under a bit of pressure.
Yeah, and
now,
again,
3 points.
The thing is, you only have to look at the players, the way that they're fighting. They kept their shape. They weren't stupid. They were very tactical in the last 5 minutes or so, going into the corner flags. They were doing everything that we were, set out to do. He would have had an idea and a plan and what he wants the players to do. And they went out and done it. Now, do you remember against Chelsea when we were 3-0 up? We were a little bit naive with 5 minutes to go and we bombed everybody forward and we got caught out at the other end for their 1 goal. And it's as though today, I know we didn't have the cushion of a free goal, but it was as though today we were like, right, learn from that. Don't make that same kind of stupid mistake again. We don't need another goal. We're winning the game. See it out. And it was more, up here today, more smarter in the brain. And obviously a lot of that comes from the manager and what he's telling the players to do. So I'll give him an 8 for that because team selection, I have no problem with it. Substitution was great. And the way we saw the game out, and it's another 3 points in the bag.
Okay, so brilliant. Another 3 points in the bag. Thank you very much, DT. Wishing you a happy new year.
And you,
hope that you are COVID-free by the end of the week and can enjoy the new year as well. But thanks very much for all your contributions this year as well. Thank you very much. You've been brilliant. Robbie here from AFTV. We just got to say a big thank you to everybody who follows us across our various channels. Over 1 million followers on YouTube. Don't forget, you can now also catch us on Reddit. We're on Reddit, so get involved with us on Reddit and also on TikTok. Keep it AFTV, baby, right here.